Carolina Panthers linebackers, and I'm talking traditional linebackers, not the outside linebackers that I used to call defensive ends. Edge rushers is the new term, right? It is an interesting place for the Carolina Panthers, the kind of inside linebackers, if you will. As of right now, if I look at the depth chart, the starters I'm slotting in are Trevin Wallace and Christian Roseboom. Think about this organization. Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Dan Morgan, right? We go on and on and on down the list. Shaq Thompson as recently as a couple years ago, pre-injuries.
Frankie Louvu.
Like this is a group this is a team that so often their identity was built kind of from the linebackers elsewhere. If Christian Roseboom and Trevin Wallace are your starters, no disrespect to those guys, they got a long way to be mentioned alongside any of those names I just mentioned. And you might even say other positions have to give them a little bit of help covering up for what they're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, no Sam Mills lining up over there.
Sam Mills, I mean, obviously another great one. And if you look at the backups, Claudin Charolette, he's got 19 career games, 28 tackles. Jacoby Windman, we're talking 8 games, 13 tackles. Bam Martin Scott, who's getting some love as of recently, is an undrafted free agent rookie out of South Carolina. John Radigan played 3 years, 36 games with Seattle, 32 tackles. Last year, 16 games with the Panthers, 12 tackles. That's
all special teams.
That's not a lot of experience. Now that is so basically what I'm saying is a week ago, Josie Jewell, it was revealed that he was going to be released, and there was nuance, right? There was quite a bit of, the medical stuff, the concussions, and he could come back if this happens, but he hadn't passed protocol. They talked about restructuring a deal. They didn't get there was all of that, but the nuts and bolts of it is he's no longer on the team, and that was kind of a bummer. It was right before training camp practice started, so we immediately did what I just did. You look at the depth chart. Okay, who steps up? Okay, where's the depth? Okay, who's going to be the green dot, meaning the guy calling the plays and communicating? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Then practices started, and we're like the distracted 4-year-old, right? Ooh, squirrel. Did you see one-on-ones? Oh, Bryce Young threw it to Dederoa McMillan.
Hunter Renfrow.
Hey, Hunter Renfrow. Did anybody see how fast Jimmy Horn Jr. is? I'm sorry, were we talking about linebackers? I completely forget what we were talking about, right? It's still right there. Nothing has changed. So to me, it means one of two things. One, it's a pretty big bet on those guys we just listed, starters and backups, right? Pretty big bet that that group can do something that we really haven't seen them do before, which is part of being a GM and part of being a coach, right? Is looking at a player, what they've done, what their assets and traits are, and projecting if they can do more. Number 2 would be there's something in the works, which would mean they are navigating the entire league. They are looking, they are predicting who may be cut, who may not, who may be available in a trade, who may not. Are there different position battles elsewhere in the league where if one guy loses, he could be a cap casualty, and then maybe they're looking for it. Here's what I need from the linebackers. I need solid, right? I'm sure there is going to be a temptation to bring up those guys we mentioned. Kuechly, Davis, Morgan, Mills, Thompson, right? Bring up those guys who were special, who did more, who did extra. I don't need special. I don't need more. I don't need extra from the linebackers. I need you to do the job. Without going full Bill Belichick, do your job. I used this earlier today off air, and I'll say it again. It was, I think, supposed to be some kind of a knock on millennials and Gen Z, but maybe not. There's a post going viral on social media that was about a young woman that interviewed for a job, and she basically walked in point blank, said, "Listen, I'm here for a job. I I don't have any interest in upward mobility. I'm not ambitious. I don't want to be the general manager. I don't want to be the VP of anything. I want to come in at 9. I want to leave at 5. I want you to give me tasks that need to be done during that time. And that's it. I want my paycheck, and I want raises based on inflation, right? I just don't want my money to be less. I just want to come in, do a job, leave. I don't want anything else. And they were hired on the spot, basically saying, like, we need more of those. We need more pawns in business, because if everybody thinks they're going to be the general manager, there's nobody really just cranking out TPS reports. You know what I mean? There's nobody just doing the thing, making the product. If everybody wants to be in the conference room with the big glorious opportunities for upward mobility, where you think if you come up with the greatest idea ever, fast track to the C-suite, there's nobody out there, just grinding through the day-to-day things that need to get done.
Just tell me what to do.
And
that's it. Just tell me what to do.
I think there's a weird part of that story, which I'm sure is made up and it's social media, made for clicks, but a weird part of that story that kind of applies to like a team sport, right? You can't have everybody out there trying to make 1,000 highlight plays, right? You need to have that special it factor to do the Ed Reed thing and bail on your assignment because, you have the instincts that say the ball's going over here and go try to make a play. If everybody's doing that, it's chaos. Sometimes you need a linebacker who fills the gap that they're supposed to fill, and if there happens to be a running back standing there, makes a tackle. They don't have to, I saw the look in the quarterback's eyes, and that meant he was going to throw it to the tight end. So I bailed on my gap, and I drove back, and I made the interception. If Luke Kuechly wants to do that, go for it, because Luke Kuechly is pretty resoundingly, by everybody that's ever played with him, called the smartest linebacker they've ever seen, the smartest defensive player they've ever seen. So if he has a moment of instinctual recall to film where it's like, oh, that running back leaned left on the motion, they're definitely running the double pass. Luke Kuechly can do that. Christian Roseboom, go fill your assignment, right? Go do the basic things. It's a space within their defense that I think can be done by, even though they're not this at all, like a blue-collar worker. Show up, make the tackles you're supposed to make. You don't have to cover for anybody else. You just do your job and let Derrick Brown be special, and let potentially some of these young edge rushers see if they have the it factor to go make the crazy plays. J.C. Horn, Trevon Merrick, these are the guys that'll do the above and beyond. You make 110 tackles this year with none of them being of the crazy variety. Just 10, 8 tackles a game of when you're within an arm's distance, you get the guy on the ground.